Okay, so starting up at number 1, of course, right now check to make sure your name's on the top. So you should have your name right here. And PD1. The date today is the 25th. We're almost in September. Crazy. Okay, so the first question says, how many planes, so remember a plane is like a flat surface, and it's usually drawn like that, can be drawn through any 3 non-collinear points. So if you have 3 non-collinear points, then you can draw 1 plane through those points. So the answer would be 1. Next, I'm sure some of you answered this. If you got D, that is correct. Maybe you get D. So collinear, it says which 3 points in this figure are collinear. That means that they form a straight line like this. And you look over here. The best way to answer these would be to go through each answer choice to find the right one. So A, B, D, no, that makes kind of like a triangle. A, B, C, nope, not in a straight line. E, C, A, again, not in a straight line, but when you get to F, E, G, it is in a straight line. It just so happens in this example, a straight line is drawn, but remember that straight line doesn't have to be drawn for the points to be collinear, so just keep that in mind. I think most of the time with this textbook, a line is drawn, but sometimes on standardized testing, the line isn't drawn, but as long as they fall in a straight line, they are collinear. So D is the answer. Number 3. Name the intersection of the plane in the plane that contains B, C, D. Plane P. So let me grab another color. So it's saying plane P. That would be this right here is plane P. And then it says the intersection of the plane that contains points B, C, D. So when I look over here, B, C, D is this right here. And where does this plane and this plane P intersect? It intersects right here. That's where it intersects. 2 planes intersect at a line, so when you're looking at these answer choices, you're looking for BC, line BC. Anything else really wouldn't make sense anyway. This plane and this plane intersects right here. Number 4, we are measuring with a ruler. We're measuring this segment RS. To use this ruler, we have 1 inch and something more. What you would do to figure out exactly where this is you would count the little dashes. So from 1 to 2, we have, let's see, it would be 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that would be your denominator. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, it should be something else. Oh yeah, no, it's there. 1 and 5/16. Okay, so what I did is I counted all the little dashes. It was 16 from 1 to 2, so that's my denominator, and it's at the 5th little dash, so I get 1 and 5/16. So it would be A. Next, this is one of those segments where it's not drawn out. You have to draw it. It says given A is between Y and Z, so I'm going to draw that. Point A is between Y and Z. So here's our segment. Then it says that YA is 5.5, so I'm going to make a note for myself. It's 5.5. AZ is 2x. And YZ, so this entire thing is 41.5. So from here to here is 41.5. It says to find AZ, just this part right here. There's two different ways you could do this. There is one way and then there's a shortcut way. Some of you may notice that to find this length here, which is what it's asking for, all you have to do is subtract these two numbers and you'll get this distance here. That would work. 41.5 minus 5.5 would give you 36. And that is your answer. So the hardest part for that one was drawing it out based on the directions. Blake, did you do it that way or did you solve the equation? You did it that way, the shortcut way. The other way to do it would be to do 2x plus 5.5 equals 41.5. Then you could solve for x. X comes out to 18. And then from there, you would plug in the 18 for the x here, and then 2 times 18 is 36. Depending on how the problem's set up, you may have to do that sometimes. Number 6, find the length of PQ. So we have to identify what it's looking for. It's looking for the length of PQ, so that would be right here. What does it give us? It gives us the length of the entire segment and then the length of this short part. So to find the length of this part, we can just subtract those numbers. And you will be able to use a calculator on the test, either your own personal calculator or the one on the computer. So 38.3 minus 12.6 would be 25.7 centimeters. Next one, find the value of y if b is between AC. So before we do anything, we have to draw this out. It says b is between A and C. AB is 2y, BC is 6y, and then it says the whole thing is 48. So AC, the whole thing is 48. This whole thing here. Kind of ran out of room to label that. Okay, so we're just finding the value of y. So we can do 2y plus 6y equals the whole thing, which is 48. So 2y plus 6y equals 48. Then combine your like terms. 2y plus 6y is 8y equals 48. Divide both sides by 8 and you get y equals 6. Okay, the next one we're finding the distance between 2 points. And the way we learned the equation and we also learned the graphing way, and we found that the graphing way was much more accurate and we made a lot less mistakes. So when you see find the distance between 2 points, whether there's a graph or not, you're going to use your scratch paper to make a graph. So on your scratch paper, and I know some of you might be working with a smaller piece of scratch paper. Ooh, that was supposed to be a straight line. Hold on. Try to get it on the line as best you can. So draw your x-axis here. And then because of the way the numbers work, if you make it kind of like elongated like this, it would probably work better for these numbers. So do your x and y, but make a larger space here. It might not matter so much if you got a larger piece of graph paper, but on the smaller pieces, this is the way you should do it. Okay, we're going to use the same graph for both of these problems, so we don't have to draw it twice. But whether you're working on the FSA or the quarterly assessment, just draw yourself a coordinate plane because you'll use it for a lot of problems. Find the distance between point P, which is at 2, 8. So over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is point P. And then Q is at 5, 3. So over 5, up 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. So we are finding the distance of this line here. Okay, another color or something. Okay, the way we did this was we used Pythagorean Theorem. And in order to use Pythagorean Theorem, we have to have a right triangle. So just sketch yourself out a right triangle. Now that we have a right triangle, we have A, B, and C, and we can use the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. One of the easiest equations to remember because it has like a ring to it. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now A is 3 units, and B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So our equation is going to be 3 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. Whoa. In solving this, 3 squared would be, I'm running out of room here, maybe I'll go down here. 9 plus 25 equals c squared. 9 plus 25 would be 34. And then take the square root of both sides. So my answer is square root of 34. And that's the length right here. You could plug this into the calculator and get the decimal number, but honestly the answer choices, like you can see, are just in square root, so you don't even need to do anything more than that. Number 9, find the distance between these 2 points. So we're going to repeat the same process. First, well, we already have the coordinate plane, so we don't have to do that again. We're going to plot these points. A is at -2, 1, and point B is at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, -3. Try to get as straight of a line as you can. Then from here, sketch out your right triangle. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So from here, you can plug these numbers into the Pythagorean theorem. Some people ask, like, does it matter which one's A and which one's B? No. The 2 legs of the right triangle are A and B, and it doesn't matter which one's which. What does matter is that C is your hypotenuse, the longest side. So 4 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared. (16 plus 36) equals 52. And then last step is square root of both sides. So square root of 52 is the length of this here. And that's what you would look for in the answer choices. Okay, thank you. Sorry, some people are still jotting it down. So tomorrow I'll make sure everyone has some graph paper so you can plot that. Next. 10. Now we're going to be working on midpoint. Midpoint is when they give you 2 points like this, and then you're trying to find the middle point. And the way we learn this is we set it up like this. So we have point A right here is 2, 5. And then point B is 6, 9. And then we had to find the midpoint. So we're looking for the number that's exactly in between 2 and 6. And what number would that be? I heard it. It's 4. Yep. 4 is exactly in the middle of 2 and 6. And then in between 5 and 9, what's the number exactly in the middle of 5 and 9? 7. Yes, it's 7. If for whatever reason that number didn't like pop out at you like it popped out for some, all you had to do is just add these two numbers together and take the average, and that'll give you the middle. So if you did 2 plus 6, which would be 8, divide by 2, that gives you the middle number. Same with 5 and 9. 5 plus 9 divided by 2, you would get 14 divided by 2, and that's the middle number. So if it didn't just jump out at you like it did for some, that's how you would do it. Then the next one, we're finding the midpoint of these 2 points. L is at 8, 5. Point B is at negative 6, 2. And then the midpoint would be right in the middle of those two numbers. So the middle might not jump out for a lot of you now because we're dealing with more space in between the numbers. So to find the middle, just add 8 plus negative 6, divide that by 2. So we're adding the x's together, dividing by 2. Get 2 over 2, which is 1, which makes sense. 1 would be right in the middle of positive 8 and negative 6. And then for 5 and 2, add 5 plus 2, divide by 2. We get 7 divided by 2. In the calculator, you could divide that, or you might be able to do it in your head. 7 divided by 2 would be 3.5 as a decimal. Okay, now we're getting into some vocabulary. It says, what type of angle is angle ABC? So looking at this here, just find those letters and like trace them like you're connecting the dots. A, B, C. That's the angle we're working with here. So the types of angles we learned was either acute, right, or obtuse. So acute was like a cute little baby. Right looked like this with the little square, and then obtuse was larger than a right angle but not quite a straight angle. So what is ABC? Yes. Perfect, obtuse. And we get this figure here. It says use the figure below to answer the following questions. It says find the measure of FBD. So looking here, FBD, I might even trace it. Well, if I trace it, then I might mess myself up for the next ones. I'm going to trace it with pencil so I can erase. So angle FBD for number 14. It wants us to find this measure. So I'm going to put a little question mark. If FBD and DBE are complementary. So it's saying this angle and this angle are complementary, so this whole thing is 90 degrees. And it says that FBD is twice DBE. So how would we do this? Well, if this is x and this is twice that, this would be 2x. So from here, we can set up an equation as x plus 2x equals 90. And then solve for x. So 3x equals 90 and x equals 30. So that means that this angle here is 30. And then this one, which is double that, would be 60. And then it says to find the measure of FBD. So that is the larger of the two, which was 60 degrees. Okay, back to vocabulary again. Does everybody have this down? I'm going to erase. Okay. I'm going to be using this again, so I'm erasing this. Okay, which pair of angles are supplementary? Remember, supplementary angles come together to form a straight line, so you're looking for two angles, like 1 and 2, that make this straight line here. So as I go through each answer choice, that's what I'm looking for. So angle ABE, this here, and CBD, no, those are vertical angles. Cross that out. Next, ABC, this angle, and ABD. No. It's this little angle and then this, just like this whole thing. So no, that's not what we're looking for. ABC, this angle here, and CBD. That's it. So let me show you what happens. So we have this angle right here, and then CBD would be right here. And these two angles come together to form this straight line here. So C is our answer. And which angle is vertical to ABE? So when we have vertical angles, we would have two intersecting lines, and we're looking for angles opposite each other like this. So opposite ABE, so I'm going to highlight that. I wish I had more colors, but I don't. So ABE is right here. And the angle vertical that would be this one right here. So we're looking for CBD, and it's right there. Okay, only a couple more. If the measure of CBF is 6x plus 18, find the value of x so that CB is perpendicular to BF. Again, looking at this, CB is perpendicular to BF. It's saying that this is a right angle, meaning that it's equal to 90 degrees. It's saying CBF is 6x plus, oh, I didn't really think it was 6x plus 18. So all we have to do is set that equal to 90. I'm going to go ahead and put that equation down here. So 6x plus 18 equals 90, and then we can solve for x. It's 90 minus 18. Thank you. And then x equals 9. It's just asking for the value of x, so we don't have to plug anything in, and we're done. Whoa. The lighting. Doesn't the sun know I'm trying to film here? Okay, the next one, find the measure of ABC if ABC is 4x plus 9 and EBD is 7x minus 9. We need to look at their relationship to figure out how we need to set this up. So going back up here, ABC is right here. And then EBD is right here. They are vertical angles, so therefore I can set those expressions equal. Putting it in the sunlight. So all I'm doing is setting this equal and solving for x. Here's the thing though, it doesn't ask for x, it asks for the measure of ABC, which ABC is 4x plus 9. So I'm just going to plug that x in and then solve it all the way out. And I get 33 as my answer. So the measure of angle ABC equals 33. And that's it. Yes.
How'd you get 9 and 17?
Did I do something wrong? It should be. Yeah, you're right. It should be 12. Thank you. 72 divided by 6 is 12. Okay, so here's what I'm going to... you should have all this work on your paper, including the graph paper with everything graphed. Leave this out on your desk. I'm going to come around and give you credit for it. That way that you get credit for it and you get to take it home to study. So you do want to study this tonight. Honestly, the best way to study would be to print this out again from Schoology and work through the problems on your own. That would be the best way, but regardless, I want you to have this so you can study it tonight. I'm also uploading this